you've stated that what's unfolded this past week is Watergate size and scale, and while we're talking about Turkey, we might as well throw on the fire, of course, the National Security Advisor, Michael Flynn, getting paid over $500,000 and changing U.S. policy, changing our war strategy to help the client state that paid him $500,000.
Well, what I was saying when I was describing that is that this is the classic scandal in the nature that there's another shoe that drops every day or two. As you noticed again this morning, there was more contacts between the White House, the Trump campaign, and the Russians than had been previously disclosed. This is the drip system, and that's why it's good to have Mueller doing what he's doing, and it's important for the Congress of the United States to do what they're supposed to do, which are two different missions. As you know, one is Mueller's case is to determine whether criminal behavior has taken place, and in the Congress's place, what did the Russians do to interfere in our election, and what do we do in order to prevent that from happening in the next election? And frankly, so far, we have not punished the Russians for what we all know they tried to do, and that was to undermine the fundamental of democracy. So all of us are, the new Director Mueller, are very happy he's there. But that relieves the Congress and the executive branch from certain responsibilities. But we still have to move forward with the investigation of what the Russians did and how we can counter it. And frankly, all the briefings I've had, the Russians have not reduced their hacking and their cyber activities, which is a real threat to the security of the United States. As Chairman of the Armed Services Committee, I am telling you, they have put a lot of our capabilities in danger in this new cyber warfare arena.
David Ignatius.
Senator, you were one of the earliest and bravest critics to say there's something really wrong in this issue of Trump, possible contacts with Russia. President Trump is still trying to make this a divisive political issue, saying it's a personal attack on him. No one has ever been treated as unfairly. What can you do as a leading Republican senator with your colleagues to prevent this from being as bitterly polarizing as it seems the president would like to make it?
Well, David, first of all, I've been worse treated than President Trump has, so let's make sure that we know about that. The point is, the point is, seriously, we have to, in my view, have this select committee. There are different committees in the House and the Senate, different jurisdictions. I have great confidence in our Intelligence Committee, Richard Burr and Mark Warner, but I think it has reached the size and scope, is what I was trying to say, that it requires a select committee. It is far different from Watergate in many, many ways. As you know, Watergate started with a break-in. This thing started in a far different fashion.
And until that select committee is created, I assume you're going to keep speaking out to your fellow Republicans, saying it's not appropriate to be criticizing this process.
Well, no, but I also think that, for example, we have not reacted yet to what happened last November when the Russians tried to interfere with our election, to change the outcome of our election, which there is no evidence that they succeeded, but still the attempt should provoke a response on our side, including increased sanctions, including other actions that we can take. At least they should pay a price for what was a blatant attempt to undermine our democracy and our way of life.
Jeremy Peters.
Good morning, Senator. So you bring up the question of these parallel investigations here. And so as Congress is supposed to be moving along on issues from tax reform, infrastructure, health care, it's going to be incredibly bogged down by this special investigation into the activities of the Trump campaign. Yeah, is there a growing concern that Congress cannot do both things at once, and that the policy is on the verge of becoming overwhelmed by the politics here?
I don't think so. We are continuing to meet almost daily on replacing Obamacare. We are moving forward with our hearings on armed services as far as the defense is concerned. What I worry more than anything else is that we're facing in September another one of these edge of the cliff, government shutdown, then we pass a massive $1 trillion bill that nobody has seen or read with no amendments. What I worry about is that we do not have a process. Joe, when in your day, back during the Coolidge administration, we used to take up an appropriations bill about a week and then pass it, send it over, and then a normal process. We got to return to a normal process, and frankly, I don't blame that on this scandal. I blame it on a broken process here in the Congress of the United States.
Last night, after Mueller was appointed, you had the White House put out a statement. President Trump put out a statement that was, we commented this morning, was relatively normal, the kind of thing a president would normally say. He said he looked forward to concluding the matter quickly, accepted the notion that Mueller had been appointed, and so forth. Just a few minutes ago, President Trump tweeted this. This is the single greatest witch hunt of a politician in American history. So it sounds to me, from the basis of that, it looks like President Trump may want to go to war with Robert Mueller, and I'm curious what you think will happen if that is the case.
That's a non-starter. Robert Mueller has a reputation going back to service in the Vietnam conflict. I know of no one who doesn't have the highest regard for Robert Mueller, so I think that would be a non-starter. And by the way, just on the subject we were on before, also the Democrats keep slow-walking all of these nominees, taking the maximum amount of time out of our day and week in approving them. So there's some problem there with the Democrats not being able to get over the election.
Speaking of nominees, Senator Sam Stein here. Rumors are flying that one of your good friends, Senator Joe Lieberman, is in consideration for FBI director. Now, I'm curious what your position is on his potential nomination, but do you recognize the concern that some people do have about having a politician? I know the senator is not in Congress now, but he was a politician in that post at this period of time.
Well, there's politicians and there's politicians, and Joe Lieberman is not only respected and admired, but beloved by all of us on both sides of the aisle. I know of no one who people had genuine affection for the way that they have for Joe Lieberman. Ask any of your guests, no matter who comes on. I think the trust and confidence that he would have here, particularly in the United States Senate, is remarkable, and I really hope that the president, I hope I don't nix his chances here, but I hope that the president would select Joe. He's in many aspects, he's the finest man I've ever known.
Well, I mean, other than me, Senator
Right.
Other than you.
Oh my God.
Other than
Okay.
me. Other than the time he told Barnacle that he wishes I'd been chained to the deck of the Forrestal when it went down in the middle of Pensacola Bay.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Great service to humanity.
we love him. Well, speaking of a great service to humanity, and I'm serious here, I'd say we're not supposed to do this, but this is what we do. Thank you so much for your service to America, and I, for one, despite the hell you went through when you served this country and were a prisoner of war and served honorably and refused to go home, when people tried to pull favors for you, but you wouldn't leave any of your men behind, despite the extraordinary courage and honor and valor you showed then, there are many of us who believe the service you are doing to America, for America right now, is every bit as vital, or perhaps, remarkably enough, even more vital. Thank you for your honesty, and thank you for your strength at a time when this republic needs it the most.
I thank you. And Mika, it's not too late.
Exactly. Senator John McCain, that's why we love you.